All right, so we are on the second part. Oh, this is the wrong lesson. All morning putting this together. So there we go. Module 2, day 6, the second part. So again, how and why do writers play with words is our big question we're focusing on, and how can writers use wordplay to develop a story setting and characters. So in this next group of lessons, we're going to just focus on how Norton Juster, our author, is developing the characters in the novel. So that's especially what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be looking at snapshots, which is going to be our next type of writing, right? So module 2 is going to focus on narrative writing. But more specifically in the beginning here, we're going to be looking at little snapshots, almost like if I were to take a picture and you to explain what was going on in that picture. That's what we're going to be doing. So why are snapshots important in stories, especially in the Phantom Tollbooth? So yesterday, who can tell me what we did yesterday? Do me a favor and give me a thumbs up emoji if you can tell me what we did yesterday. Good, Mason. Go ahead. Tell us what we did yesterday.
We sort of filled out like a organizer that had the characters, the settings, the nugget of wisdom, I'm trying to remember what it was. There were 2 other ones.
Yeah, do you know what that's called, Mason? What that organizer was called?
No.
Okay, give me a thumbs up if you know what that organizer was called. And you can look back in your workbook or back on the Schoology page. Just saying. We've seen them before in Module 1. We will see them again throughout this module. It was handout 7A. Who knows what that organizer is called? Okay, Olivia, tell me, what's that called?
The story map.
Good, the story map. So it had our setting, our characters, the action, problem, ending, and then the nuggets of wisdom. So we were looking at, Milo went into the doldrums, right? And he met the Lethargians there. And we were looking at, what did Milo learn from that experience? So do me a favor, you can either raise your hand in the participants box or give me a thumbs up. Who can tell me what Milo learned in that experience yesterday? What was that nugget of wisdom that he took away? Daniela?
He took away that he had to, think a lot to, make the right decisions.
Yeah, thinking is so important. And to get out of the doldrums or that dark and boring, gloomy place that you're stuck in your mind, you have to think, right? So he started thinking about fish that fly and birds that swim and all of those other things, and the car started moving and he was able to get out of the doldrums. Good. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at that description of the characters or settings that the author gives within the story and why that's so important, because we're going to be writing like that very soon in the future. So first thing I want you to do is we're going to visualize Talk really quickly. So I want everybody to just close your eyes. Just close your little eyeballs. There's no way for me to check, so, but I don't want you looking in the book or at the front cover right now. What I'm going to do is I am going to read to you the snapshot of Talk. Okay, and I want you to pay very close attention because you're going to be put into groups to find the snapshot of each of the characters that you're assigned to. Okay, so for now, my example is going to be all about Talk. I'm going to show you how we're going to do the assignment today using Talk, but you're each going to be assigned something different. Okay, so here is the snapshot of Talk. I want you to just pay very close attention as I read. Milo's eyes opened wide, for there in front of him was a large dog with a perfectly normal head, 4 feet, and a tail, and the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. Okay, so let me read that one more time, and I want you to listen. For there in front of him was a large dog with a perfectly normal head, 4 feet, and a tail, and the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. Who can give me some of the details in that description that help you visualize in your mind what talk looks like, right? So that helps you to paint a picture in your mind. Well, almost like you took a picture of talk and now you can see that in your head. What details helped you to visualize him? You can either give me a thumbs up or you can raise your hand in the participants box. Luke, was that your hand up, buddy? Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So Talk is an alarm clock dog that helps Mellow through the journey to
Dictionopolis. Good. So he is a loudly ticking alarm clock. Can everybody do me a favor? And I want you to open up your books to page 29. Open up to page 29. And at the bottom, at the very last paragraph is what we're looking at. And I want you to be able to give me specific, like, couple of words at a time that tell me how we can visualize him. Nope, you're not looking at the cover. You are looking at the words in the text. Okay? Yes, we can visualize Talk by looking at this picture, and now we have a picture of him in our heads. But our focus right now and what we're learning about is how to take what the author says and visualize that in our minds.
Miss Erin.
Yes.
Page 29.
Page 29, the very last paragraph. So, Juliana, give me one thing to describe Talk.
Okay, so, Milo's eyes opened wide, for there in front of him was a large dog with a perfectly normal head.
Okay, pause there.
Tail.
Jules, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to read the whole thing back to me that I just read. I just want you to pick one thing out of there to describe Talk. Can you do that for me?
A large dog.
Yes, perfect. A large dog. Okay, what's the next thing that we can look at? Give me a thumbs up emoji if you would like to share. Olivia. So a large dog.
A ticking alarm clock.
Okay, can I say a loudly ticking alarm clock?
Yeah.
Okay. Those details are important. Loudly ticking alarm clock. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you want to share. Daniela.
He had a perfectly normal head.
Good. Good. Perfectly normal head. Okay. Somebody that I have not heard from yet today. Connor, are you on page 29?
Yes.
Okay, can you give me something that's not listed here that I should add to my list of how we describe Talk?
A weird dog?
Nope.
Maybe?
We are looking directly in the text on page 29. It doesn't say a weird dog in there. Can you tell me something in there, words that are in that paragraph that describe him? So far, we have a large dog. We have a loudly ticking alarm clock. We have a perfectly normal head. What else in that paragraph describes Talk? I'm going to go to Alexa Redmond, Connor, and then I'm going to come back to you. So go ahead, Alexa.
4 feet.
Good, 4 feet. So Connor, give me the next one.
I have to go get my book.
Okay, yep. Everybody might want to have your book for this. We're going to need it today. Okay, can anybody else tell me something to add to this? There's one more thing. I do want to add the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock? Somebody I've not heard from. Noah, can you give me the last thing?
A tail.
Yep, a tail. So we know that Talk is a big dog. He's a large dog. He's got the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. He's got a perfectly normal head. He's got 4 feet and he has a tail. So that's how the author described Talk so that we were able to visualize him in our minds as we were reading. Okay? So, move some things around, sorry. Okay, so now we need to talk about what a snapshot is before we can get into doing this activity on our own. So a snapshot is a type of writing that does the following. It zooms in on a character, setting, or object. So imagine just kind of like, give me a thumbs up if you have an iPhone or an iPad or some sort of phone or camera that you can zoom in on, right? Imagine you kind of just zoop and you make it bigger. Okay, so it's zooming in on that one character, that one setting, or that one object. It uses details and descriptions to give readers a vivid image, a clear, vivid image. And it uses sensory language, which we'll talk about, to help readers visualize their subject. Okay, so this is just taking that one object and focusing on that one object and telling me what you can hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you see, what you, did I say smell? Smell, hear, taste, see, touch, what you could touch, what it would feel like. So, sensory language. This is going to be one of your vocabulary words that will be on your next chart, or is on your next chart. The use of details that appeals to the reader's senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or feel. To add color and depth to writing and help readers visualize what an author is writing about. Okay, so using sensory language is just telling your reader what you see, what you smell, what you hear, right? So ready? Let's do one. Let's say you are at a carnival. Okay, everybody picture you're at a carnival. If you were describing it to somebody, how would you describe it? Give me a thumbs up if you can tell me one thing that you would use to describe a carnival, thinking about how it sounds, how it smells, how it looks, how it feels. Go ahead, Jules. Tell me one thing.
Games.
Yeah, you see games. What do you hear? Who can tell me what you hear? Has nobody been to a carnival? Give me a thumbs up if you've been to a carnival.
It's very noisy because all the rides are like running and stuff.
Okay, so you hear what? Okay, or carnival, or let's say like Six Flags or a theme park or something, right? Yeah. Or the boardwalk at the shore, something where there's games and rides and lights and sounds. So let's be more specific, Belle. What about the rides would you hear?
Like the roller coasters going up.
Yeah, maybe the clickety-clack of the roller coasters climbing before they descend into the doom. Olivia, what about you, bud?
You can taste like cotton candy or popcorn.
Absolutely. What do you smell? Mason, go ahead. What do you smell at a carnival?
Like popcorn or food?
Yeah, it smells sweet. I always think I can smell hot dogs and popcorn and sweet smelling candy, right? Everything is just super sweet. Unless you're at the fair, then you probably smell cow manure, but maybe that's just me going to the Sussex County Farm and Horse Show in North Jersey. Okay, so notice how if we're just thinking about that carnival or Six Flags or whatever, We are just talking about what we can see, what we can hear, what we can smell, what we can taste, and what we feel, okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to open up your InSync journal. Open up your InSync journal. Give me raise your hand in the participants box when you have it open and you are to this section. We just went over that top part just all together, just so you know. So right now we're moving on to the next 3 questions. Oh, good, Ashanti, you're here. Yay. Yep, so raise your hand in the participants box when you have this open to this screen, Module 2, Day 6, Classroom Teacher InSync Journal. And I'm just going to read through these questions as you open this up. So I'm going to read again those lines from page 29. You're going to tell me, why are these lines considered a snapshot? So think about what we just talked about with the snapshot. And if you scroll up, you can see the definition of the snapshot in your InSync journal. What words did the author use or choose to create a vivid image of talk? We just wrote all of those down. Okay, so I want you to put that there in that box. And why do you think the author paused the action to give the readers a snapshot of talk at this moment in the story? Why do you think that the author might have done that? Okay, so make sure Noah, Micah, Luke, Carter, Bella, Autumn, Alexa, do you have this open on your screen?
I was just about to say, I just got here. Sorry, I slept all the time.
Okay, so Micah, right now I'm recording this video or recording this lesson to post on Schoology. So right now I would read through the top of your InSync journal and we're answering these 3 questions once I reread talk. Okay? So,
okay.
Right now, guys, I'm going to reread page 29, that last paragraph, and you can open up in your book if you would like to follow along to have the guide here. From this last paragraph where it says Milo's eyes open wide. For there in front of him was a large dog with a perfectly normal head, 4 feet and a tail, and the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. So, what I want you to do is I'll put I don't know. I'm trying to write last paragraph. Sorry. That's the paragraph symbol. Page 29. Okay? Last paragraph on page 29 if you need to reread that. You're going to answer these 3 questions. Okay? When you are done answering those 3 questions, you're just going to put your hand up in the participants box so we can move on. And I'm going to pause my recording so I don't have to have the kids at home, you know, or the kids who are watching this video kind of just stare at me waiting for you. Okay, so now that you've answered all 3, who can tell me why these lines are considered a snapshot? Think about what a snapshot is. So let's go back. Okay. Why is this considered a snapshot, Jules?
These lines are considered a snapshot because they're explaining the dog, so you could draw a picture into your head.
Yep, and that's okay, Autumn. Thank you for responding to in the chat. Yeah, so you can picture this in your head, right? You're able to picture talk in your head because you have seen all of the, let me go back to it real quick, things. A large dog, the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock, perfectly normal head, 4 feet, and a tail. So you can see that picture in your mind. So it's almost like we took a picture with the author's words. Okay, very good. So, and we already gave what words did the author use to create this vivid image. Now, why do you think the author paused the action to give this reader a snapshot of talk at this point? Why do you think he did that? You can give me a thumbs up emoji if you want to share. Why do you think he did that? Daniela?
I think the author did that because Talk is going to, like, come into the story more and, like, go with Milo.
Yeah, so Talk is going to come into the story more and kind of go on this adventure with Milo, but at the same time, do you think he just really wants at that moment for you to know exactly what this character looks like? Does that make sense? Right? He wants you to be able to, at that point in time, see this big old dog with a clock as a body, but he's got a normal head, 4 legs, and a tail. It's a little strange, but he wants you to see that in your mind. If he had just said, there is a dog and he's big. He's a dog clock, watchdog. Would you have been able to picture that in your mind? Ignoring the fact that you saw this watchdog on the cover, right? No, you wouldn't have been able to picture him precisely as he was if you didn't have that picture and if you didn't have that description. So having that snapshot right then and there in the middle of the action is important to help you picture it in your mind. So I need everybody to listen very carefully to this next part because this is where you're going to go off and do your assignment here. I am going to show you how I'm going to answer this question using Talk. Are you using Talk? Give me a thumbs up if you're using Talk. Give me a thumbs down if you're not going to use Talk as an example for this. Thank you to the thumbs down who have read what is in front of us highlighted right here. It says, do not use Talk. Why? Because I use Talk as the example. Okay, so your job for this is, let me erase all the ink in here. Find an example of a character or setting snapshot. This is specific. Look right here. Okay, you are already assigned a character or setting snapshot. Okay, what words did the author use to create a vivid image and explain why it's a snapshot? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in breakout rooms again like yesterday based on your character. You are going to go back into chapter 2 or character or setting. You're going to go back into chapter 2 and you're going to find the part in the story where Norton Juster gives the snapshot. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're with me so far and you understand. Breakout room with your group, okay? You're going to find the snapshot in the book, and then you're going to answer based on how, you're going to answer what words did the author use to create a vivid image and explain why it's a snapshot, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do this with what we just did with Talk first before I put you into the breakout rooms. So give me a thumbs up if your setting is the expectations. Okay, I'm missing 2. I've got Autumn and Daniela. Nope, Connor, you are not expectations here. Thank you, Connor. Thumbs down. Okay, Micah, give me a thumbs up, and Noah, give me a thumbs up so that you understand that your setting is expectations. Thank you, Micah. Noah, are you there? Good. Okay, now the weatherman, give me a thumbs up if you understand that the weatherman is your character. Luke, Connor, good. Olivia and Carter, give me a thumbs up. Good, Olivia. Carter, can you give me a thumbs up? So I know you understand that you are doing the weatherman. Thank you. Doldrums, give me a thumbs up if you are doing the doldrums. Bella, thank you. Ashanti, thank you. Alexa, thank you. And I don't think Natalie's here, so it's just going to be you 3 girls. Lethargerians, give me a thumbs up if you understand that you are the Lethargerians. Good, Linz, Mason, and Jules. So when I break you into those groups, that's what you're going to be focusing on. Now, before I do, this is my example for how to answer this question. So, first of all, I'm going to read the question, then I'm going to read my response. Find an example of a character or setting snapshot in Chapter 2. Obviously, do not use talk because I'm using talk. What words did the author use to create a vivid image and explain why it is a snapshot? So I'm going to find one example of the snapshot of my character or setting. Then I'm going to record a page number and explain why it represents a snapshot. That's the directions. So this is what I said. On the bottom of page 29, Norton Juster describes talk by saying that talk is a large dog with a perfectly normal head, 4 feet and a tail, and the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. This is a snapshot because these lines include vivid details about what talk looks like so that I can really see him as Milo does. Okay? So, here's what we are going to do. I am going to pause my video here. If you are following on this video, you are doing your character or setting here. Everyone else, we're going to do breakout. Hi, boys and girls. If you're watching this video and you're not in class at this point, everyone else is in breakout rooms working on the Doldrums, Expectations, Weatherman, or Lethogarians. So based off of what your name was next to, I'm going to give you a little hint. So the quote, the snapshot for Expectations is on pages 16 to 17. Alexa, dismiss. Then we've got the Weatherman is on page 17. The Doldrums is on page 22. And Lethogarians is on page 24. So now I'm going to welcome everybody back so you can pause this video now.
I'm Daniela. Thanks for leading the discussion in our breakout room.
Yeah, you guys did a really nice job. I'm really enjoying these breakout rooms too. I'm noticing that some of you are really stepping up and being the leaders of the groups. It's a really good job. Okay, so if you're not done with your own typing, I know some of us take a little bit longer to do the type part. That's okay. You can just finish up and submit the check for understanding. Also, we are not going to do the last part of that in Sync Journal where it says the appreciation. If you would like to do that on your own, there's a little video clip that you can listen to the appreciation and then kind of answer that question. Feel free. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. So who can tell me really quickly, give me a thumbs up emoji if you would like to answer this question. Why are snapshots of characters and settings so important in the Phantom Tollbooth? Mason, tell me, why are they so important?
Because they'll give you a image in your head of what they'll look like, and they may occur more on in the book, that you can have a visual. If someone comes back up, you kind of have a visual like, oh, that's what that person looks like.
Good. Autumn, do you want to add anything?
That was basically what I was going to say.
Okay. Daniela, do you want to add anything? Daniela. No. Jules, do you want to add anything? Go ahead.
I was going to say that it's a very creative story. Sorry, that's the phone.
That's okay. You can ignore it. Go ahead.
It's a very creative story, and he makes a lot of stuff up, so it's very important to do that so we could see what it looks like.
Bingo. That's what you and Mason said is exactly what I was looking for. Norton Juster writes using a lot of wordplay, right? It's a very creative story. So these characters and these settings aren't just names. They're named this way on purpose. So it's really important that you can picture this in your mind of what these characters and places look like, because there's a reason for everything in this book. So very, very good. The last thing that we are doing today is a question set. So before you go off and answer it on your own, I am going to read the text to you and then read the questions, and then you can go off on your way, okay? And do that on your own. So, this will go away. I want this to... So, does everybody remember this part in the book? And this, just so you know, this section will be on each question. So you'll be able to see the text as you go along. So, run, wake up, run, here he comes, the watchdog. Great shouts filled the air as the lethargians scattered in all directions and soon disappeared entirely. Ruff! Exclaimed the watchdog as he dashed up to the car loudly puffing and panting. Milo's eyes opened wide, for there in front of him was a large dog with a perfectly normal head, 4 feet, and a tail, and the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. What are you doing here? Growled the watchdog. Just killing time. And if you notice at the bottom, there's this little 1 next to killing time, and down here it says spending time doing nothing or waiting for time to pass. That's what killing time means. It's an idiom. Replied Milo apologetically. You see, killing time, roared the dog so furiously that his alarm went off. It's bad enough wasting time without killing it. And he shuddered at the thought. Why are you in the doldrums anyway? Don't you have anywhere to go? I was on my way to Dictionopolis when I got stuck here, explained Milo. Can you help me? Help you? You must help yourself, the dog replied, carefully winding himself with his left hind leg. I suppose you know why you got stuck. I guess I just wasn't thinking, said Milo. Precisely, shouted the dog as his alarm clock went off again. Now you know what you must do. I'm afraid I don't, admitted Milo, feeling quite stupid. Well, continued the watchdog impatiently, since you got here by not thinking, it seems reasonable to expect that in order to get out, you must start thinking. And with that, he hopped into the car. Do you mind if I get in? I love automobile rides. So, let me read the questions to you, and then you'll be able to start on your own. So read this sentence from the passage. There's 2 parts to this question. Notice at the top it says there's part A and part B. Ruff! Exclaimed the watchdog as he dashed up to the car, loudly puffing and panting. So what you're going to do is you're going to read each definition, 1, 2, 3, 4, for the word watch. Which definition best captures the meaning of watch in the context of the word watchdog? So, here are the 2. Close, continuous observations for the purpose of seeing or discovering something, or a vigilant guard as for protection or restraint. So do you think that it means to look at with attention, to guard over, to wait for, or to be careful? You're telling me, based on these dictionary definitions, which meaning captures this the best. And then part B, what context supports the correct answer to part A? Milo's eyes opened wide, for there in front of him was a large dog and the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. And what are you doing here? Growled the watchdog. Then, this is the second 2 questions. The illustration on page 30 supports readers' understanding of the passage by showing what? The watchdog helps Milo solve a problem, that the watchdog takes his job very seriously, that the watchdog is impatient with those who kill time, and that the word watch in watchdog has 2 meanings. This last question, tell me, you can unmute yourself and tell me, how many events should you choose here? Which events most belong in the summary of this passage from the Tollbooth? Go ahead, tell me. How many? You can unmute yourself and just say it.
3.
3 events. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should have half of these choices clicked off. 3. A lot of you are not doing that. If it asks for more than 1, you're just choosing 1. If it says choose 2 or 3, you're just choosing 1. 3. You will get it wrong if you don't choose 3. Okay, so then you'll read these. When you're done with that, you are done for the day. You can go work on this on your own, or you can stay on the call and ask me questions for the next couple minutes if you need to. Okay, I'm going to stop recording the video here. Make sure that you submitted everything for today. Your in-sync journal, the check for understanding, and your question set. And then, guess what? It's Friday. So you just have math, social studies, and you're done.